Looking at the umpires tonight, that's veteran Mike Wise behind the plate. Mike works a lot of high school games, some college games in the area, does a real good job. Right.
The battery for this afternoon's game behind the plate is number 6, Zach Greenlaw. And on the mound, number 22, Twitter Man.
I think the big thing tonight, it looks like, that's Kyle at short, isn't it? Kyle Bartman at short. Well,
I think so, yeah.
It's nice to see him back playing. He hasn't played really since the first game of the when they went down and played in Louisville. They were playing at like Louisville Christian Academy there, and he took a swing and basically broke a bone in his hand. And so he's been out about a month, and I'm glad he's cleared to play. He'll help him, I guarantee. Yeah. He's a good left-handed bat. He's strong. He's a good leader. He's a good kid. I know the kid's got a lot of confidence in him too. So that probably put is Ivans out in left then probably.
You know, I'm not sure what the lineup is.
That'd be Ivans in left, number 20. And of course, you got Vogel in center, and you got Bryce Bishop in right. Pretty much the standard lineup otherwise. And you got the big guy at first. Bachman at first, probably Jack at second. And like I said, Bartman at short. And it's Bartman.
Trace Melody
at third, right.
And Zach B. Blossom behind the plate.
Behind the plate. So, and don't forget, Zach was out for about a 3-week period, too. He had gotten in a bunt attempt, had broken his thumb, and he's back. So, and one thing, too, about when you have a senior catcher like this, you know, the man pitching today, Mr. Mann, he's probably had Bean Blossom catch him 90% of the time. So. This is Mason leading off, right? Chase Mason. Chase is a junior. It's his second year of varsity ball. I think he's a very good baseball player.
Catcher.
Good arm. He's got a good arm. Pretty good athlete. Played a lot of hockey when he was young. I knew him from that scenario, and but he's a good baseball. He'll put the bat on the ball. Yep. Good job, though. You don't want to put it out near Mr. Vogel.
He ranged a long way from
that. People, when people do things with ease, people think it's easy. You know, they think, well, just a fly ball. No, you look where he ran. He probably ran 120 feet to catch that ball and made it look easy. That's why he didn't have to dive. He didn't have to reach out for it. He's probably got as good a speed as anybody in the area. Number 2. This might be their good freshman kid they have.
What number is this?
Number 2, I think.
Oh, it's Ben Mount.
Yeah, Ben Mount, okay. And he probably plays some first base.
Yeah.
Left-handed hitter.
He used to play a little basketball. I think he played football for the first time this past year.
Ben's a nice-sized kid. I'd say he's 6'2", 6'3".
They list him at 6'5".
Oh, boy. I guess I better get my sight. Yeah, boy. That's away. Nice play. Looked like he maybe slipped a little bit on the grass there, and Kyle Bartman, but he took the big hop, and he's got to feel good when you haven't played for a month and you get a ball in the first inning here.
That's always good to get one in.
Get that one in, right.
2 down quickly here in this first inning.
This is Jackson Gendron, I think number 4. Jackson Gendron, 6'1", junior outfielder. Yep, number 4. Eddie Betson. The Washington Panthers are coached by a very prominent name in baseball over in Washington, Coach Wisher. This is the son of the longtime Brian Wisher, who coached in Washington probably for about 20 years as the head coach. Mm-hmm. Now his son is the head coach, Kyle. He's in his 11th season already. We talk about head coach Stone with the Metamora Redbirds, but man, these guys have put some time in already. Eric's got, I think we said he's up to his 18th year.
Yeah, 317 wins. Wisher in his 11th with 239 wins.
That's right. These guys have been, they've logged some high school games, that's for sure.
They both have 1 tie.
Well, that happens sometimes, especially. Come on, get off the. Good job. I love the way that man got off the mound there, hustled to the ball, made the play look easy.
No hits, no runs, no one left. Go to the bottom of the first. No score.
No score. Good way to start, though.
Yeah.
And like I said, Turner, I personally have a lot of confidence in Turner, and I've say proudly I helped coach him when he was 8 years old. He was playing on the 9 and 10-year-old team at 8. He's always been a little advanced in baseball. And one little gesture I just saw, I liked the catcher, Chase Mason, for Washington, just shook hands with the umpire. One thing about it, the umpire and the catcher have to work together a little bit.
Yeah.
They really do. Yeah, I know the umpire, he wants those balls in the dirt, stopped so they're not banging him on his ankles. And, I've seen catchers miss balls, almost in the strike zone and hit that umpire right in the chest. That's not any fun for the umpire. I think this is their, is this Gunther today probably?
He's pretty good.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. To me, in not playing yesterday, you should be looking at one of their top arms today without any. Yep, it looks like Gunther to me. Gunther's about 6'1".
Pretty close, 6'2".
They list him at 6'2". Yeah,
so you're not far off.
You know what it is? I think the rain on the windows is throwing me off a little bit. I'm usually a little better.
That's pretty good though. You're a little ways away, and you picked 6'1" out of.
We'll watch Chase Mason. I always like to watch the catcher's arm when he throws down here initially. He's got a pretty quick release and a pretty good arm. He's a pretty strong arm, I'll tell you that. That ball never came down at all. But
when I first started coaching Legion Baseball, we had a guy named Anthony Burns.
Yeah.
And Anthony Burns would come out and he would throw the ball all over the infield. I mean, he'd throw.
That's all right. It gets the other coach thinking he can do things.
Right. And then he'd short hop the second baseman. He'd throw it over the third. Ooh, Vogel fouls a bunt attempt.
Right.
But yeah, the ball would be all over the place, and then they'd try to steal a base, and it'd be just
right on the money.
It'd be right on the money.
Coach goes, wait a minute, he didn't look like that in the warm-up. Where'd that come from? I guess that's called, he was sloughing a little bit there.
Oh yeah.
He baited him.
And he would just sit there and laugh.
And they took advantage of it. They thought they were taking advantage of it.
That was a pretty nice pitch right there. 0-2 the count. No, 1-1 the count to Vogel. Excuse me. That should be 1-2.
You're right. See, once again, I see the pitcher here. He has a little tendency to fall to his left. I like to see everything going right towards the catcher. A little outside.
Yeah, you're right. He does. He has a tendency to.
It's probably something he developed when he was young, and then he feels comfortable with it. But are they talking about this?
The count
right now a little bit, but came out of the Washington dugout, but
popped it up.
That's Mount there, I believe.
Oh boy. They looked at each other and neither one of them.
Yeah, that's. As soon as I saw the catcher look down there, look up, you knew they get a little trouble.
To me, that's first baseman.
Oh, that's first baseman. Infielders always got priority over the catcher. You got to take off and go catch that ball. And one thing I'm not trying to be hard, but this time of year, this isn't the middle of March anymore. Right fielder going to go hard there. Yeah.
Did he catch that?
He caught that ball. I don't even know who's playing right field, but I'm going to tell you, I think it's the quarterback. I think it's the quarterback.
Caleb Fisher?
Yep. Fisher playing right? Oh, Gendron made the catch out and right. Good catch. Good sliding catch. Hustled all the way. And look where he's at now, and look where he caught the ball, too.
Yeah.
About halfway between the line and the fence there. He went about 150 feet to catch that ball. Because I guarantee you he's 120 feet. It's 127 feet from home plate to second base, and that's about how far he is to the line. So he went about 150 feet and made a nice catch.
Driscoll, the batter for the Redbirds.
Yep. To me, Driscoll's either in right or he's DHing. Oh, Mason comes out. He slips. Oh, boy. Good backup by the second baseman. And that's one thing you're going to deal with today. You got to get your feet underneath you. It's just like in football. You got to take a little short, choppier steps, and that feels wet out there. There's no quite. It's been.
It looked like he did a nice job of coming out and kind of rounding out.
He did a
behind
nice
it.
job, and then just when he went to set his feet, though, he lost his balance. Then he tried to make a throw from his knees, and at that time it's probably too late even. But hey, man on first. Here's Zach Beanblossom, the catcher, senior catcher. Been catching a little bit since his sophomore year. Caught most of the time last year. Oh, boy, that's going to be a wet ball, too. Look at that. He's going to beat that out, I guarantee you. That ball stopped dead.
Boy, that was almost closer to the pitcher. That's just tough. There's nothing the shortstop can do there.
Once again, when you fall 4 or 5 feet to the left, you gotta.
Yep.
The whole game is predicated on you got to cover a certain part. If the pitcher doesn't feel that ball, there's no out. I guarantee you. The ball stopped dead even before it got to the dirt. So
let me ask you something. Would he correct it if he moved over on the rubber?
A little bit. He would correct it a little bit, but like I said, is in his follow through, he ends up. See where his back foot ends up, crossing over so far that it actually takes his body 2 or 3 feet out to the first base side of the rubber.
Mm-hmm. 1-1 the count.
This is Landon Ivins here. Ivins is out in left today. Good cut. As Harry Carey said, he was right on it. He was just a little underneath it. If his timing's out in front, it would have went, down the left field line. If he was late, it would have went down the right field line a little bit. But it was right on it, just a little bit underneath it. Nice block by Chase. We're in a little trouble here. No, good hustle. Good hustle. Ooh.
And Beanblossom went to second base. That was risky, but paid
That's
off.
A pinch runner. We got a pinch runner out there right now.
Oh, courtesy runner, yeah.
Yeah, Riley Dodell. Riley Dodell is the courtesy runner. I saw him. Number 1.
Back on second base. He went into a courtesy run for Beanblossom.
For the catcher, right. Yes, he did.
2 RBIs out there.
Landon.
Strikes out.
Yeah, too bad, darn it. But you want to take advantage of a fly ball there or a ground ball, put it in play somewhere.
Brings up Bryce Bishop, the right fielder.
Bryce will put the bat on the ball here. Yeah, we don't want to squander this opportunity here. You got men on second and third. Base hit here is worth 2 runs. You got the man running on the crack of the bat. Ball that breaks the infield here should score 2. Oh, that hurts. He pulled it right down into his right foot area or right ankle area. In the big leagues, they almost have a half a shin guard on there now.
Yeah.
I don't blame them.
Why do left-handers seem to do that more than right-handers?
It's a good question. I think they're out in front of the ball a little bit more maybe on the average. Ball that rides in on them. But you say, hey, there he is again.
Now he's going to have to protect.
Yeah.
1-2 the count.
Washington is just above, only basically a half a game ahead of us. That's a good play by the second baseman. He charged the ball well. He got himself a good hop, and he ended up making the play at first base.
1 hit, no runs, 2 men left. We go to the top of the second, still no score.
That's right. We had a little opening there, but we weren't able to take advantage of it. Let's see what we can do here. We want to hold them again here.
Field looks awesome, doesn't it?
The field looks very nice. That rain we had last week has really greened things up, and it's in good condition. Like I said, we've had a light rain. 26 is Jimmy, right?
Yeah.
Jimmy's going out to. Oh, Jimmy's at second. All right. I see where Jimmy's at now. Okay.
We didn't get a lineup card to start the.
Well, that's all right. Like I say, we wanted to make sure these guys got playing. We got man pitching, Turner Mann, senior. We got senior catching. We got a senior at first in Bachman.
Senior in center.
Senior in center and Bogey. There we go. Thanks, boy. That helps a lot. Oh, yeah. Landon Ivins. Okay. Right field. Bryce Bishop. Yep. That's Landon Ivins is Jack Moore is the DH. Okay. All right. I can see that. Trace Melody.
Third base.
Third base, and Kyle Bartman, the shortstop. Boy, I tell you one thing, that's a nice person to have down there in that 9-hole if he gets a chance to drive some runs in.
Leading off the top of the second inning for the Panthers, the third baseman, number 11, Brody.
Number 11, Brody Reed, the batter for the Panthers.
Yep. Brody's the third baseman.
That's up and out of play.
Ludolf's on deck. Cole Ludolf's on deck. Number 18. Cole is one of the outstanding receivers on the Metamora or the Washington Panther football program this past year, and has been for a couple years. Then his cousin is Caleb Fisher, who I said Caleb's actually been playing center field.
Yeah.
Okay. Bryce Brecklin is at second base. Number 11, Brody Reed. And Ethan Mounts is at short. Ball's hit pretty hard. Foul ball, though. In general, when that ball is crushed down either line, it usually goes foul. I'm not all the time, of course, but more often than not, it usually goes foul.
It tails to the
pull side, where yeah.
Right.
And then even when you hit it down the other line, it slices the other way. It hooks to the pull side, and it slices away from on the non-pull side.
That's a quick bat there.
I'll tell you one thing: these two teams are almost identical. You said we're 12 and 11, I believe. Mm-hmm. They're 14 and 12. Their conference record is 4 and 6. Our conference record is 3 and 6. So I mean, these two teams are basically right now. You know, looking Metamora would like to rise up to that 5th spot, because it's going to be pretty hard to catch. Pekin's got is 6 and 4 now. So, Landon, good effort, Landon, getting to the fence. He got to the fence. The fence kind of goes down so that basically the bullpen is out of play, and it doesn't leave a lot of room there for the right fielder to catch a ball right down the line. Like I said, there is definitely a little bit of a drizzle. He's out. Good job, catcher.
By Zach Beanblossom.
Hanging on to that. I think it was a fall tip, and he hung on to it and made the play.
Now batting, the left fielder, number 18, Cole Ludolf.
Yep. Cole's a senior. Cole's pretty good size, too. I'd say Cole's 6'2".
What do they list him as?
6'3". Well, just a little bit short on these kids. Maybe their heights are a little bit inflated too.
You might be more accurate than
well, no, he's a pretty nice sized kid. I remember in football.
Yeah.
Pretty nice sized young man.
That's out of play, out of the view of our camera.
Yep. Way down that right field line. Well, I'm glad we got lights, because it is overcast. There's no sun. And I just hope that rain holds away enough that these kids are able to play. That's going to be a base hit. I don't care how fast Vogie runs. That's a base hit. Yep.
It just died out there, didn't it?
That ball's not going to go very far once it gets into that. Well, the grass is pretty thick from all the rain to start out with, and then it's wet too. But
looks like they maybe mowed it this morning. Looks awfully nice.
It does look good. This is a boy by the name of Hyder. Josh Hyder is actually a catcher. I want to say he might only be a sophomore. Hyder. Josh Hyder's number 20. Sophomore. They list him as a third baseman. I know he's caught a little bit on the coming up, but he's a nice sized kid. Pretty thick, I would say. Hyder, they list him at 5'11". I was going to say 6 foot. He's probably 185 pounds. Pretty solid, good sized legs, well put together. DH in today. Josh Hyder. Caleb Fisher on deck. Nice block, nice block. We got one out and a man on first. 0-0 as we're in the top of the second at Al Mulberry Field. The pitch, right down Central Avenue. Yep. Man on first. Good pitch right on the corner. Right
nice.
On the corner. You couldn't paint the corner any better than that. Like I said, Turner Mann's an experienced pitcher. I really feel that Metamora has a chance to win every time Turner takes the mound.
That's going to be up and out of play.
He's been a pitcher since day one. He's a solid right-handed pitcher, probably 6'2". See what they list him at.
Full count.
6'3". They list him at 6'3". I just got to I got to look at it, add an inch on, and I'll be probably correct more often than not. Could they run him here with one out? Oh, I like that. When it's 3-2, I like to go over to first. Sometimes you can catch that guy if they're running on 3-2, even though there's only one out. Especially if it's 3-2, 2 outs. I like to go over because sometimes that guy will try to take a liberty on it.
Should be an easy out for the
shortstop, taking good command, good job. That's what you get too when you get the experience of Kyle Bartman back at shortstop there. There was no question he was taking that ball. Shortstop has priority over everybody on the infield, and including the catcher. Just like the outfielders have priority over everybody in the infield. That's away. That's close. That's close. Pretty quick move by Turner Mann. Good scoop over there by Mr. Bachman. Ben Bachman.
Vogel have a chance.
That's a good catch.
Nice
Boy, that's
catch.
a good catch.
He went a long way for that ball.
Wow. Yep, that's Caleb Fisher. Once again, you can't beat a good center fielder, boy. It's like having you need a good shortstop handling the ground balls. You need a good center fielder handling the fly balls. And
take some time and clean off our lens.
Get a good look at Gunther's number here as he walks out to the mound. Looks like a 6 to me. Ryan Gunther, 6'2", senior pitcher. He's pitched a lot over the years. I know he pitched for him in the was that the sectional last year that they had at Washington, I believe? Yep. Yep. Come on, Ben.
So far this year, who's the best baseball player you've seen?
In the area? I see quite a few games and scouting part-time for the Seattle Mariners. I'll just start. I like Vogel. The two things that he does very well, he runs very well, and he plays great defensive center field. You saw that right on the first game. He made I thought, an ESPN highlight catch, and he's made them all year. He's got to be considered one of the top kids in the area. I like the Mike Dunn kid from Limestone. And then you got to like, Taylor Catton from Dunlap. Did he catch it? I think he did. Boy, I tell you. Look when he gets back to his position now. That's a pretty good run to get that ball in foul territory. And that's Gendron. He's a 6'1" junior outfielder. Peak and I, the more I see him, I like their center fielder. And then don't forget Nick Guerrero from, I don't know, it's GUE Morton. He had two doubles, two two-run doubles yesterday in their 10-0 win over Limestone. He's very good. And I'm kind of naming the top kids that I think from each team. The first baseman from Morton does a good job, from Pekin. I like him. He's a big, strong kid. He's the one that hit the home, like the 3-run homer against us in the off of the Pekin first baseman in the game over at Pekin last Friday. That a boy, Jack. Look at that. Boy, that's by him too. But be careful, Jack. Be careful. But he can run. But that ball. Oh, darn it. Once again, the ball got by the right fielder a little bit. I don't know if you were able to see. I was able to reach over and see it out there. But it with the grass, it probably only went by him a foot or two. And he made a perfect throw. And Jack with good speed. And he was out by just a half a step. But just a real good throw by Gendron out there. Oh, come on.
Still got him.
Yeah.
One hit, no runs, no one left. We go to the top of the third.
Boy, I tell you,
no score.
Something happened there that I get tired of harping on a little bit. But when you lose when you lose a man on the bases, and that was aggressive play. I have no qualms with them going there.
No.
They took a perfect throw, but the net result is we still lost a man on the bases. So rather than having a man on first and one out, we have nobody on and two outs, and the next guy on the first or second pitch, he grounds out. What I found in just watching a lot of baseball over the last 60, 70 years is that when you lose a man on the bases, it seems like the inning ends pretty quickly. I think psychologically it's a little bit of a downer for the team that loses the man, and I think it's a little bit of a, and I say that, you say, well, there's a lot of ups and downs, but in football and basketball, when something big happens to one team or the other, I think everybody in the place feels it. And you know what I'm saying? Like if you intercept a pass, and everybody starts jumping up, go get to the house, or you recover a fumble. The momentum, you can just feel the momentum and the shift of the ball and everything. In basketball, if you get a steal and go in and make a dunk or an easy layup, I think everybody gets excited. Baseball, that's a big play by the outfielder. There's a base hit. You're on first. You try to get the second, which is fine, but then you get thrown out. Well, then now the whole thing switches. Like I said, rather than having a man on first with one out, and two more batters hopefully to come up. You got a man, nobody on. You got to start over, is what I'm saying, and that's a little bit downer for the offense, and obviously a little picker-upper for the number 10.
It's hard to do that when you got two outs too.
That's right, Bryce Brecklin. That's what I'm saying. That makes the second out, and then you get the ground ball and the inning ends. Brecklin's the second baseman. I don't think this boy's too old. I think his older brother played second or short for him last year, but.
Junior?
Yeah, he's a junior. I figured he was a first-year varsity player. Bryce Brecklin. Not very big.
That's up and out of play down the.
I think they're being a little kind to him when they say he's 5'8", but that's all right. I would have guessed him at 5'7", 1 inch short. But he might have a little inflated anyway. Ooh, that's a pretty good pitch.
That's a nice 0-2 pitch.
But you see how I'm looking at Turner Man now. See how he stays right in line with the plate. Boom. He still crosses over pretty far with that left foot too, but
not anywhere near as much as.
But his shoulders and everything still are going pretty much towards home. That's a boy. Good job. Well, foul ball. For a wet ball, both pitchers are doing a good job throwing strikes. I mean, there hasn't been. I don't think there's been a walk yet, has there?
No.
Good pitch. Good pitch. Ring him up. Good curveball. Froze him.
One down here in the inning.
This is Ethan Mounts. He's the shortstop. He's a young kid too. Number 25. Mounts. Sophomore. See?
So they have a Mount and a Mounts.
Yep. I think I coached this young man's dad at Richwoods. Maybe it might be his nephew even, but that's the way it was spelled. M-O-U-N-T-Z. Mounts.
They have him listed 5'8". I think you're right. That may be inflated.
Yeah, he's not as tall as the other 5'8" guy.
No.
I think this guy may be more like 5'6", and the other guy's 5'7". They're both listed at 5'8". And they're both relatively young-looking kids. This kid, we'll say he's 5'8", and he's probably about 140 pounds.
Other than Ludoff and Fisher and Mount, the rest of their team is kind of small.
Kind of small, relatively, yeah. Where at Pekin, when we say Pekin tonight, you'll see them. They've got a nice size, nice, I call it on-the-hoof looking outfit. Yep.
Quickly 2 down here in the inning.
I tell you, that's what Turner can do. I mean, he can do that. He can.
The Roanoke Benson head coach Zeman would not have liked Gunther pitching. His whole thing was stand tall and fall.
Stand tall and fall. The old coach from Metamora, we were talking about it at noon today. We were talking about Coach Zeman. You know, they named the field over for him this past weekend.
Long past due.
Yeah, good guy. Did you deal with him when you were doing Legion? Did you?
A little bit. He
Yeah.
came over and helped coach the pitchers one year, and it was phenomenal.
Yeah. This is basically I'll quote Bob saying, Bob thinks in the years that he's been around here, he may be the top pitching coach of anybody in the area. And I tend to go with him. I thought Tom Stonebach, Mr. Tom Stonebach, was pretty good down at Manual with pitching. But I'll tell you, I worked some camps with Bill up at Bradley, and he's awfully good. You know, I didn't know the connection he had. His father-in-law was a guy named Jack Aker, who actually pitched in the big leagues, and did some minor league coaching pitchers. So he was able to. That was Chase Mason that time working a walk. They're going to get a courtesy runner.
It's the first walk of the game for.
Yep, and it looks like 3 to me. This is Grant Reed.
Ben Mount, the hitter for
Ben
Washington.
Mount, not Mounts, but Mount. He says, coach down there says, "Hey, what's going on? You got to look down to me for a sign here. 2 outs," which means there if he didn't have something he wanted, he might have a run on steal on right away here. Ben Mounts, a senior. He's 6'5", man alive. That's a foul ball.
Foul ball off
That's
his
a foul ball.
Off his foot.
Once again, see, it's the right, it's the leg, the leg nearest the pitcher that gets hit, because the ball comes down off his bat.
That stings, man.
There isn't any protection there, I can tell you that. And you can see in the big leagues over a course of 162 games, you're going to get a lot of them.
1-1 the count.
Yep, they were running. They were running. Okay, I believe it's 2-1 on the batter.
Yep.
There's 2 outs, man on second. He said that's a courtesy runner, not a pinch runner, a courtesy runner. Grant Reed, a 5'9" junior, running for the catcher, Chase Mason, who got on a walk. That should take the count to 2-2, or 3-1. I'm sorry.
3-1.
3-1. It was 2-1, so I guess it's a ball. It'll make it 3-1. 31. Good cut.
And that'll make it a full count, fouled straight back. Getting a little windy.
Yeah. You know, we finished the season, or conference season, next week with Canton. Canton is 0-11 going into their 12th game tonight, or tomorrow. Canton will play tomorrow, Monday, Wednesday. They'll be on the road at Dunlap. That's not easy.
For Canton?
Yeah, Canton, because Dunlap was at Canton on Monday, so Canton will be at Dunlap on Wednesday.
Mount will get a walk.
I think I jinxed our pitcher. You know, I talked about no walks and having good control. Now we face their number 3 hitter, number 4, Jackson Gendron. Yep. All right, we need to shut this down right here.
Now batting for the Panthers, the right fielder, number 4, Jackson Gendron.
Gendron is, most teams put, if not the top hitter, one of their top hitters in that third hole, and you gotta respect them. Oh boy, good job getting strike 1 in there.
That's the most important pitch of every at bat.
Yep, you want the best pitch in baseball is called strike 1. I see Bear Kelly's here today. Bear Kelly, the head coach at ICC. His blue. I was looking. I don't see anybody in a blue uniform around here, and there's a guy out there with a blue warm-up jacket. So, and I looked at him. He's 6'7", and he's about 285, and he's a big man. I recognize Bear Kelly, appropriately known as Bear.
From Morton, right?
Yeah, from Morton. Pitched at Morton. Yep.
Played football.
Yep. And baseball at Western Illinois. Played obviously both at Morton too, but no, a good pitcher. Had some good Legion. You probably coached him against him in Legion too.
Yes.
He had some good Legion years. Guy by the name of, was it P.K. Erickson or Garrison? Was
over Washington Legion,
for many years. You know what I used to like too? He had a daughter that always helped him. If you get there early for a game, the daughter was out working on the field. I thought that was pretty nice. That, Dad was going to coach Legion, and his daughter was always there to help him. I told her, I used to kid her, she was the best-looking groundskeeper in all of baseball. Better looking than Harlan. Nothing against you, Harlan, but I'm talking about the legendary Harlan Zobrist.
Legendary.
Who took care of this field for many years, and the one behind the school for many years. And he goes back to the one that was right behind the school for many years.
Wow.
Probably the one he played on.
Yeah.
He was a pretty good pitcher.
Yep. Yeah,
and he was a quarterback.
Did you ever hear the story about him and his brother pitching back-to-back no-hitters?
Never did, but that doesn't surprise me.
He and his brother Larry pitched. Harlan pitched the first game, pitched a no-hitter.
Against who?
Maybe, I think it might have been Manuel. Back when Manuel was probably pretty good.
Pretty good, you bet.
Uh-oh, he's going to walk the bases loaded.
Yeah, we gotta shut this down here now. You know what I really worry about here too with a wet ball, and that we don't need a wild pitch or a pass ball to give him a cheapie. This is the 4th hitter, cleanup hitter. I got it right here for us. This is Brody Reed. I bet you Brody's the older brother of our man on third, the pinch runner, Grant Reed, because Grant is a junior, and Brody, number 11, is a junior also. Maybe they're cousins. Maybe they're twins.
Harlan pitched a no-hitter, though, in the first game of a doubleheader. Mm-hmm. And then his brother was pitching a no-hitter in the second game.
Brother Larry. How many brothers were there in that? Like 5?
I think there were 4 or 5 brothers.
Because
there were 5 brothers.
5 brothers, yeah. And they're all like cousins or great uncles to Ben.
The cousins, I think.
Cousins. Harlan Zobrist and same name, Ben Zobrist.
So Larry's pitching a no-hitter in the second game, and with 2 outs in the the top of the 7th inning, the hitter from Manuel hits a pop-up to the shortstop. They're gonna go back-to-back no-hitters.
Wasn't Harlan playing short?
Harlan's playing shortstop. Harlan lets it drop.
Only Harlan would do that. Only Harlan would do that. Well, I bet you they were about fighting on the field. We got somebody's chirping on the bench. Yeah, we got some chirping going on.
2-2 the count on the hitter.
We got some chirping. What do we got? We got some. They chirping over in the Washington. Yeah. Right. See. It usually when one team starts that chirping, it doesn't take long for the other team to start chirping, and then you get cheer your team on, but don't get carried away. That's a good pitch. That's a good pitch. Good job.
No hits, no runs. 3 men left. We go to the bottom of the third. Still no score. That's a way to kind of stop the chirping.
That stops the chirping real fast.
Yeah, after Harlan lets the ball drop, there was a little bit of a skirmish behind the mound.
Between Harlan and Larry.
Yes.
Harlan always has had that little edge to him. Look at that kid hustle out to left. You know what? I think we still got. Is it still a little drizzle out there?
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm gonna have to clean off the screen one more time.
Yeah, we want these people to be able to. Oh, did he confine him to the dugout? Oh, he got the hook, you think? Okay, well we'll send somebody down. Yeah, I noticed that we had a player going to. Yeah, we got a little change on the coaching out on the field. We got a first base coach. Nick Dolinsky is now coaching third, and the first step. It might be a deal where Coach Stone is confined to the dugout. You can still coach the game, but you can't leave the dugout. Or the other possibility is he was ejected by home plate umpire Mike Wise. Or he's not feeling good.
0-2 the count.
Yeah. I did notice a player running out to coach first. I didn't notice that we had a change at third also. Oh, this is senior Kyle Bartman. It makes me feel good to see a senior like this getting back in the lineup after being out for a month. And that's a good pitch. That's a good pitch there. Good breaking ball. Takes a little while.
Ryan Vogel, the Metamora hitter.
Credit the Gunther boy, but he's pitching a good game. I don't mean to be critical of him. I think as more I look at it, the ball's gone before he really crosses over real hard. But sometimes it's a little hard to keep that under control. He starts good, nice, easy, and then
Question for you:
Mm-hmm.
If he's been confined to the dugout, can he coach the next game?
Yes. Yep. Confined to the dugout, you're not ejected. You're just confined to the dugout. It's kind of a warning. Any more out of you, and you will be ejected. But yeah, you're right. Because if he gets ejected, like you just said, yeah, I mean, if anybody gets ejected, the coach or the player, they're not only out of that game, but they're out of the next scheduled game, the next game that's played by the team that.
Which would be 6:15.
Which would be 6:15. Yeah. So you don't want that. Like I say, you'll just have to. He can coach the team. Oh boy, I'll tell you, Gunther's got. I've been watching him a little closely. I would say he's running up there 85, 86. He's
got a little bit of pop.
Just like Turner Mann, he runs it up there 83, 84. And 2 good arms today.
That's going to drop.
I would think so. Yep. Nice hit by Vogel. Vogel, like we know, is a Bradley recruit, and he'll be fighting for the center field job next year at Bradley at this time.
Jimmy Driscoll.
Jimmy's had a good year overall, junior. Jimmy puts the bat on the ball pretty regularly.
One out here in the inning. Vogel at first. Do you try and steal him? Probably a wet track.
It's a wet track. A little hard to grip the ball, too. With Vogel's speed, I would not hesitate to steal him. It's not the ideal time to do it, but it's still 0-0. You're not behind. You don't have to be conservative.
Right.
And like we know, in general, the Redbirds are pretty aggressive, and I look for them to be. Okay. Well, he might be trying to shake things up a little bit too, putting somebody else to coach. Look at this. There's a nice hit. Jimmy Driscoll hits one out to right field. First and second. One out. We had the initial strikeout. This is Bean Blossom now. There's one out. Runners on first and second. No score. We're in the bottom of the third. Back-to-back singles by Vogel and Driscoll. I'll bet here, too, Beanie will put the bat on the ball. He'll put the bat on the ball, make something happen, make them field it. The nice thing, too, when you got guys on base, look at the shortstop out of position trying to hold Vogel. They know they've got to hold Vogel pretty tight. Oh.
Well, they're shooting for that right field gap, aren't they?
Yeah, there's a big gap out there. There's a gap between, obviously, the center fielder and the right fielder, but there's also a big gap between the first baseman and the second baseman.
What about the gap between the short and the third baseman?
Well, see, because he's way over there. Man, that's a long way to be. That's a good bunt. Went a little bit fall.
I would like to see him shoot that ball a little bit more towards the third baseman.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You do. When you're bunting, although, he's kind of bunting there to get on, too, but you want to make sure the ball's in fair. If you're going to bunt, get it in fair territory. Yeah. Otherwise, it's just a strike, and that's what it is. 0-2. Going to see the breaking ball here now. Going to see the breaking ball. He's probably going to go at him right away. There it is. Oh, boy. That's a double play ball. That's a double play ball. Yep. Well, I tell you, that little infield's not too bad. Brecklin and Mounts.
No, they're not bad.
They'll be there next year. Brecklin is a young junior, and Mounts is only a sophomore.
So we go to the top of the third. 2 hits.
Yep.
2 men left. No, Redbirds could not push a run across. So we go to the
top fourth.
Top of the fourth.
Yep.
Still no score.
How many? Well, once again, the Redbirds, last inning, too, they had bases loaded, so top of the fourth.
Yep.
Bishop going out to right. Vogel going out to center. You got Landon Ivins in left. There's Coach Wisher, Kyle Wisher, picking up a loose ball behind the catcher.
Talk about it's Brett Kelly.
Brett. Yeah.
When he was in high school, he was an offensive lineman, big offensive lineman. And
big.
I remember going on a Saturday afternoon. It was raining worse than this, and watching Washington play Morton. And
did you really?
And Brett Kelly and Kyle Wisher had it was a Donnybrook. And about the middle of the third quarter, they finally just went at each other.
Did they?
And they both got flagged, and I believe they both got ejected.
Is that right?
Yes.
I did not realize that.
And the funny part was they both played on the same Legion team. They both played for Tazewell Blue.
Yes. That team had some good teams. Remember one year they won the state. That might have been around that time. They won the state. I'll give you a name. Prina pitched for him, a left-hander.
That was a little bit. I was pretty close to that time. Yeah.
Maybe not exactly, but they actually won the state, and they went to the what they call the regional up in Michigan. Won their first 2 games. They almost got to go to the what they call the American Legion World Series.
Prina, good left-handed pitcher.
Yes, he was. Went to Eastern on scholarship. Base hit. Is that Ludolph again?
I believe so.
That's Ludolph. That's his second hit of the night. Cole Ludolph, the left fielder, leading off with the base hit to the left of the third baseman. I think you're going to see a bunt here. I really do. I think in this turf and with the ball being slippery, I think you want to put the ball in play, make him handle the ball and see what happens. Just like last time there, you stay away from the double play. I'll watch his top hand. Oh, I think he's bunting just the way he moved his bat there. That was why would you move your bat forward if you're getting ready to hit? Usually you go back to go forward.
Hyder.
Hyder, there, it's a bunt. It's a bunt. We called it.
Just throw a strike.
Yep, let him bunt it. Take the out.
They're giving up an out, so you might as well just throw a strike and let them do whatever they're going to do.
And you know what? He may pop it up too.
Mm-hmm.
And he may miss it. Oh, that was leaning there too. Good. Like I say, Turner goes pretty hard when he goes over. I'm watching the third baseman here now coming in. Nope. Remember the third baseman too, if he doesn't field the ball, he has to get back to third. If the third baseman fields the ball, then the catcher's got to go to third.
Yep. You flip-flop.
You flip-flop. Somebody's got to be at third, somebody's going to be at home. Oh, there's that pop-up I was talking back. Oh, boy. Close. Just popped it a little bit too far, a little bit too hard.
2-1 the count.
I'd still bunt.
Oh, I'm sure he is.
Yep.
I hated this as a catcher because that bat was right in your line of vision, and if he missed it and the guy took off running, it was hard to catch the ball.
Mm-hmm. Yep. You're right. In fact, a lot of teams even do that when they're man stand. They'll fake a bunt and pull it back. You know, if he's going through this many signals and they're having trouble picking him up, he's bunting. He's bunting. Oh yeah. That's a good play.
That's a nice play.
That's a great play by a young. Is he a junior?
Sophomore.
Sophomore, Melody. That's a good play. Yeah, Melody's a sophomore and Bryce is a sophomore, right?
Yep.
A pretty good play, I'll tell you that. Number 17, Trace Melody. So that's now 1 out. He did move the man though. Pop up to the second baseman, Jimmy. Good job, Jimmy Driscoll. Squeezes it.
It's a big out.
Yep. It's a very big out. And you know that was Caleb Fisher too, the quarterback of the Panthers last 3 years. So now you get the second baseman, Bryce Brecklin Jr. Bryce struck out the last time with Ethan Mounts on deck. Ooh, he got out in front of that nice. But he pulled it fall. 1 strike on the hitter, runner on second. Cole Ludoff on second. 2 outs. The number 8 hole hitter, Bryce Brecklin. Curveball just didn't quite make it, did it, Scott?
No, not
close. Close, but not just I call it went around the plate rather than over the plate. But that's a boy. Keep him close. You know, it's a small thing, but there again, you know, by having your starting shortstop back, he's used to the pitcher's used to working with him holding a runner on, and a lot of things. But I'll tell you, I thought Jimmy Driscoll did a great job filling in for the senior shortstop when he was out for about a month. Oh boy, that came right through that screen, didn't it?
It went right over the top of it.
Oh, it went over the top of it.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah, you think you're pretty well secured, but you're not. It's only about 1.5 feet high, 2 feet high. But nice block by catcher Zach Beanblossom. Zach will be going to Bradley next year. I think he's still debating whether or not he's going to try to walk on and maybe be a backup catcher for him, or maybe help out in the bullpen for him. Oh, darn it, they're going to run him in. He's going to run it. Second base. Yep. Yeah. But I'm saying, as I say second on that, only because the ball stopped dead again. He had to come in almost, 30 feet, and he had to go to the line about 40 feet. And He still made a real nice throw.
Yeah.
And it was a little closer than I thought it would be even, but there was no question the man was safe. And see, by doing that, you allow the runner to go from first to second.
Yep.
With 2 outs there, I want to keep that guy on first base. If it's the winning run or the tying run late in the game, that's a different story. You have to go after him. But and the other thing, don't forget, with 2 outs too, what's the runner doing when the ball's hit? He's running. And that's a big difference. He didn't have to wait to see whether or not if there's 2 outs and the ball isn't hit right to you, throw the ball to second base. And once again, these are all philosophies that I have to just say personally that I've come with having watching many years of baseball. And it's a little bit of that's what the analytics say to do. Keep the guy. Oh boy, he actually slipped a little bit, but hey, come on, get back up and go after him. Turner hustled over there, but
it'll drop out of play and make it 1-2.
It was in play though, wasn't it?
It landed right in front of the screen on the front of the dugout.
It would have been a tough play, and if you look where the third baseman is and the pitcher are, that's a long run. That's 100 feet, I guarantee you, probably 110. Come on, guys, get this out here. We want to shut this down. Runs haven't come easy for us.
Fouled that off.
Somebody's got to get that ball there, guys. Come on, somebody hop on it. The report we had that somebody that went down said they really didn't know what the situation was with why the coaching change was made on the offensive side when Coach Nick Dolinsky moved from first to third, and then we have a player coaching first.
A little bit high.
A little bit high. I agree to it. Number 25, Ethan Mounts. Ethan's only about 5'6", 5'7", a little bit high. Ethan did a good job there following off that pitch that was right on the corner. Coach Dolinsky just threw in a good rubbed-up ball for our pitcher. I like this. I always say 2-2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, runner on second.
And he'll walk.
Yeah, I must have been wrong. It must have been 3 balls. All right. I don't like that, though, because now you got to face, I think, one of the better hitters on their team, Chase Mason. Chase is a junior, but he played most of the time last year as a sophomore, and he'll put the bat on the ball.
Dolinsky goes out to the mound. Now, so Stone can't even go out to the mound.
Nope. We can only surmise. My guess would be that, number one, he's either sick or not feeling, or he is.
I don't think he's tossed. He's tossed.
Is he in the dugout?
Yeah.
If he's in the dugout, then he's not been tossed. No, you can't. You got to be out of sight and out of sound. No, we just heard that he is definitely in the dugout, and I hate to say something that I really don't know about what transpired, but it's either he's not feeling well or he could be confined to the dugout, which means the umpire has warned him, and that his penalty is that he cannot leave the dugout for any reason. I guess my only question would he be able to come out for an injured player?
Oh, I think he would be.
I would be too. Yeah. Kind of like a stopping the clock in football, right? You stop it when you get the mercy rule going for a touchdown. Ooh, boy. I thought Chase was going to get his left elbow into that ball there. He kind of made a little movement towards it, but he's going to hit the ball to the outfield somewhere. Ground ball. Base hit. I got it. Good hit. Good hit. Whoa. Yeah, see, once again. But
not sure where he was throwing that ball.
Right. Well, and then the other thing is, too, going back, if we keep that guy on first, he doesn't score from that. But Coach Dolinsky's getting into some action here. What do we got? You know what? I think we got Kyle Bartman might be injured too out there. I don't know. Or at least he's talking to him. Well, I tell you, like Coach Dolinsky's he's earning his money. You know, and when you're an assistant coach, you kind of just make sure that you do what the head coach wants and coach a little first base. And I'm sure Coach, in general, Coach Stone makes the decisions on who pitches and who doesn't. I think we got. I think Kyle. I think they're looking at an injury situation out there. I really do. The umpire's even out looking at it right now. There's our trainer. Our trainer's going out, so we have a definite. And Coach Dolinsky tells him, "Well, we think everything's okay." You know, one thing though, it's a tough day on this grass and that, because you're gonna be slipping and sliding a little bit, and
2-0 is the score here in the fourth.
well, I tell you, they got runners on second and third. They got a good hitter up. Ben Mount is one of their better hitters. He's a 6'5" senior first baseman. He bats second in the order. We got a courtesy runner out for Chase Mason at probably young, what did I say, Brody Reed.
That's going to, I think, fall.
A little bit fall, yeah. You know, the one thing I've never liked getting behind on bad days either, because, you know, it isn't a lot of fun playing out there on bad days.
No.
But hey, got to shut it down right here. Runners on second and third, but we do have 2 outs. Get the batter. Everything should be zeroed in on getting the batter. Good pitch. Good breaking ball. I think at full bend, it started outside and it broke pretty much right over the middle of the plate. 0-2. Foul ball. Look at the plate too. One thing about it, you get it's just playable out there, but it's not much fun.
No.
Not even much fun for the spectators. Well, you see our spectators behind the home team dugout. They've got their umbrellas out, so they're actually standing and sitting, and ladies sitting on behind the screen. Yeah, good pitch.
Nice pitch.
Very good pitch. That's a big out. It keeps you in the ball game at 2-0. Keeps you in the ball game.
Was that 2 runs on 4 hits? 2 men left.
They had some hits. There's no question.
We'll take a 2-0 lead going into the bottom of the fourth.
Like I said, we need to have a little offense here.
Better clean off our camera lens.
Like I said, we got Brett Kelly here from ICC. He's probably looking at pitching. You know, usually when scouts come out, they're probably looking at pitching most of the time. You know what? I'm gonna.
Leading off the bottom of the fourth for the Redbirds, number 20, Atlanta Hyman.
Strike one to Landon Ivins.
His fresh skin gets ripped into ground, so it hurts way worse. Instead of having 7 layers, they play like 2 or 3 now.
One and 2 the count. Need a base runner. Fouled off. Ivans should get to second base. Give him a hit. So Ivans goes to second with nobody out. And that's going to go up and out of play. 0-2 the count. Bishop strikes out. One down, that brings up Ben Bachman.
Now batting, number 11, Ben Bachman.
Unofficial. Unofficially, coach has been confined. Unofficially. We get a double?
Ivans got a base hit, and they overthrew first, and he got to second.
Okay, good.
One down.
Ben Bachman. But you could, to me, it's amazing that the pitchers are able to throw as many strikes as they've been throwing, really.
Well, they've been doing a pretty good job of keeping dry baseballs out there.
Yeah, they have. They have. Come on, Ben. You know, Ben with a swing of the bat here could make this a new ball game real quick. It's a good pitch. That's a good pitch.
You gotta go up there and you gotta protect, man.
Yeah, with 2 outs, I mean, with 2 strikes, you're right. You got,
Number 3, Jack Moore.
one thing, too, I've noticed if I was coaching the shortstop, you know, which I don't understand why the shortstops even worry about keeping him on. It should be the second baseman with the right-handed batter. But he just leaves early anyway. I mean, he did get an average lead, wait for him to start moving back, and, you know, get another couple steps. Watch. He'll come in now. He gets right behind him where you should be. Then he'll make just a little fake to the inside, and then he walks away. That's another hit.
Caught.
Oh, man. That's robbery. Credit Mounts, the shortstop, making a super play. That would have been a run for sure with 2 outs. Man, Jack's on a little bit of a roll. He hit the ball hard and hit it right at the right at the, I say not at him, but it was actually near the bag even, and the shortstop made a lunge to his left, and
one hit, no runs, one man left. We go to the top of the 5th.
Yep.
Redbirds trail 2-0.
Pitcher for the Redbirds, number 4, Colton Kaler.
Colton
Kaler now pitching. Yep. I don't know, he's getting kind of close to the probably the pitch count. I don't know if he was quite there. But
He's probably thrown quite a few.
by 4 innings, say 20, maybe 8. I don't think he was at the it's 105, I think. So I
Right.
don't think he was there. Even if 20 an inning for 4 innings would be.
Yeah.
But
He had some there. I bet he was up around 25, maybe even 30.
Yeah. So it could pretty close. Probably somewhere between 90 and 100.
The one inning he loaded the bases with, he'd walked the bases loaded, so
Yep.
he had about 15 or 16 pitches just to those guys.
Show him a little different slant here. No. Well, the whole key here is as we head into what I call the business innings, 5, 6, and 7. The whole key now is for the Redbirds to hold them at 2 and then start chipping away and see if they can't do something to get this game back to even.
Leading off the top of the 5th for the Panthers, number 4, Jackson Gender.
Sounds like a player to me, Jackson Gendron.
Yeah.
And he's the right fielder. Nice pitch. I think Colton has pitched very well. Good command. He looks like he's under control. That's pretty good.
Backs him off the plate. 1-1 the count.
1-1, yeah. Good pitch. Now throw that breaking ball a little bit on the outside corner. There you go. That's a great pitch.
A little bit outside.
Didn't get the call, but he didn't miss by much.
No.
Good boy. Out. Isn't that a baby? Made the
Nice
Good
job
play.
by
Right.
Bartman. Nice strong arm.
Nice strong arm. With an average arm, that play's not made. That was a great throw. You know, the third baseman almost cut it off. He came within about a half a step of cutting it off, which implies the ball was a little bit in the hole. Not deep in the hole, but it was definitely 10 feet to the right of the shortstop. He made the good play, got rid of the ball quickly, threw a strike to Ben Bachman to get out number 1. You know, for that relief pitcher coming in Colton, too, that's a good start, boy. You like that. Keeps him on the windup.
2-0 the count.
Lets him get a little relaxed out there and ready to go. Nice pitch.
Oh,
Boy, he got great command of that curveball.
Yeah.
And to me, it looks like he starts it either at him and breaks it over, or he starts it in the middle and breaks it a little bit outside. Nice pitch. See what I mean? A little bit on the middle, and then the ball breaks a little bit to the outside corner.
2-2 the count.
Oh, don't roll the ball through the dirt, though. You know, if they throw a ball out, it's probably pretty wet, right? You don't want to throw it into the grass and then into the dirt. You know, just
And then it gets
get
dirty.
more foreign substance on that ball. Yeah, but
2-2 the count. 1 out here in the top half of the 5th.
he's nice job.
Oh, nice job.
I'll tell you, one thing about Colton too, he's up and down. He's almost perfect. By that I mean he's about at the waist, within an inch or two of the waist on every pitch.
Number 18, Cole Ludel.
He's been their hottest hitter of the day. He's got a single to right center, and he's got a single to left. And I believe he scored their first run.
Yes, he did.
So he's had a good day, and we want to keep him off the bases here. 2 outs. Get the third one, get back in, get some momentum going. I think what Colton does too, he kind of wastes that fastball a little bit. That fastball, he kind of keeps it down and away or high and inside. And like you said, he backed him off that one time. That time he was low and away. Now come back with the curveball. Now he can throw the ball over. Nice delivery. Good pitch. 3-1. 2 outs. Nobody on.
Fouled at the plate. Full count.
Back to even. 3-2. I think you're going to see a curveball. Huh. All right.
Colton hits him.
Yeah. Well,
That'd have been ball 4 anyway.
yeah, ball 4, right? But it still goes down to hit by pitch, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, I've often. And the reason that has to be is because once the ball hits him, it's dead. You know what I'm saying? So it's not so much ball 4 as it is hit by pitch, take your base. Everybody on base moves up 1 if you're forced. All right. Ludolf can run a little bit. I think
Yep.
you're going to see Ludolf run here. I do. This is Heider, the DH. Oh, that's good. All right. 1-1. They're running right here.
On this pitch.
Yeah, good time to go over. 1-1. Good time to go over. Good job. Good job. Sometimes you see a wipe off. Oh boy! All right. Yeah,
That one got away from him.
I don't think he was moving. I think he had a good second lead, but I don't think he was. And here's this guy worries me right here. This is as good an athlete as they've got on their team. This is their quarterback, Caleb Fisher. Caleb will be going to. Is it they go down to McHenry, don't they? Those kids.
I think so.
They've had quarterbacks. This is the third boy that played quarterback at Washington over the years. Third boy from this family, the Fisher family. I know the family pretty well. Good athlete. He'll battle. Boy,
Nice play.
You talk about a great play. Wow, that was a super play by the shortstop, Kyle Bartman. It came off of Colton Kaler, hard ball up the middle, came off his right leg. It deflected to the shortstop. He barehanded the ball, which he had to do. And Caleb Fisher runs better than average, not a speedster, but he runs well. And the throw was low, wet ball, getting rid of it in a hurry. And
Bachman dug
Ben
it out.
Bachman's worth his, I call his weight in gold down there. And boy, that saved a run or two right there, I guarantee you.
No runs, no hits. 2 men left. We go to the bottom of the 5th. Washington up 2-0.
Come on, Trace. You know, one thing I talk a little bit about early in the year when you play some sophomores that haven't seen a lot of varsity pitching, needless to say, unless they played as a freshman, which Trace and Bryce didn't last year. You know, it's going to take a little while to get used to what I call good conference pitching, whether it be Mike Dunn from Limestone, Catton, or the other good pitcher out at Dunlap there, and of course Guerrero, and I consider this young man here one of the top pitchers in the league too, Gunther. But now, like I said, they've had a chance now to. Coaches pretty much went with them full time, and they've had, 20 at bats against good pitching now. About 7, 8 games against I call good middle line I conference pitching, and the more you see it, the more you become, adjusted to it. And
right.
I'm saying I'm looking for Trace to put a little bat on the ball here and see what happens. No.
He's still throwing pretty hard.
Yes, he is. I think he's running it up there 84, 85. He's a senior. He's been basically a 2-year varsity pitcher for him.
Fouls that one off. 0-2 the count.
I know he played for Coach Schlemmer's 16U Outlaws team a couple years ago. And, He's a pretty good pitcher. He's a good pitcher. And obviously, they didn't play yesterday. This has got to be what I would say Coach Wisher would say is his best pitcher.
Probably. Yeah.
That a boy. See,
that's a nice
Trace,
0-2.
Trace came through. What I was just saying is, after a while, we got to bunt him over now. Get some wheels. Coach is getting some wheels.
So Kyle, I'm sure will be up there. Hunter Burris.
Yep. Number 23. This is a pinch runner, but don't forget in high school baseball, the man that was pinch run for Trace Melody can re-enter the game one time. You can leave it and come back one time if you're one of the 10 starters counting the DH. I think Kyle's going to bunt him over here. Like I say, Kyle's still battling a hand injury. Nice job. Foul ball. I was a little worried that maybe there wasn't a foul ball.
Yeah.
It appeared to me like it was just to the left of the plate. You ever seen the ball land on the plate?
Yes.
I have. And it is a fair ball. Fair ball. The lines start back at the tip of the plate. So the you see in the major league sometime on TV, you think it's a quote unquote pop-up, but it's actually a ball that hits the plate and goes 30, 40 feet in the air, and you see the guy throw the first. Hey, what is he throwing the first for? Good sacrifice bunt by the 9-hole hitter, Kyle Bartman. Now, we've, in my opinion, we got one of our top hitters right here, Mr. Vogel, Ryan Vogel, man on second.
This is the guy you want up.
I want him up, I know that. And you got a good hitter, Jimmy Driscoll, following, so we got 2 chances. I had a chance to talk just briefly to Coach Brett Kelly on the way up, and we were talking a little bit about, he implied that Gunther is going to go to ICC, and he was looking at some of the younger kids too, but and we both talked a little bit about just the way he's, basically falls to the first base side. And
is that something you'd want to correct?
Well, I mean, I think it's like a lot of things. I would at least address it, in the fall practices. He's probably done it all of his life, so it's a very, and I think it's not as bad as it looks either, because I think the ball's released, before he gets over too far. It'd be kind of like trying to shoot a basketball, but your body's going one way and the arm's going back the other way. See what I mean? I think it's a little hard on the arm. I do. I think it's more.
So you're throwing all arm. Then.
Arm. That's what I'm saying, because your body's going this way and you're trying to throw the ball in basically not the direction your body's going. Your body's going to first. I don't care what anybody says. When you look at him, he's almost on the grass when he finishes on the left side, on the right side of the mound for us, the left side to him. Well, I'll tell you one thing. The ball budget's going up today. You saw some new pearls going to the game. You're probably using about 24 balls just to play this game here today. At $50 a dozen.
Or more.
Or more. Depends how good they are.
Ryan's got a 2-2 count on him.
I see a breaking ball. Oh, he got into that one. It's kind of hanging up in the heavy rain, and I thought he hit it good. Didn't get all of it, but he hit it good.
No, running number 26,
Jimmy Driscoll last time singled hard between first and second. Once again with the man on. Once again the shortstop. Both guys are up the middle, and now the shortstop busts back. But I'll tell you, there once again, you see the gap I'm looking at between first and second. That's almost 80 feet, and against an 84-mile-an-hour fastball, Jim, and balls breaking away, and the curveball breaking away, that ball's going to end up on the right side quite a bit.
Well, they really bunch it up the middle, don't they?
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at, and it's a philosophy. That's a good pitch. It's a good pitch. I'd like to score this run here, though, Scott. It just makes it tougher and tougher as your number of outs start to decrease. He's going to come that, too. I thought that was an inch outside, but not bad. Close. You know what? If I was the pitcher, I'd throw that ball right there again. About maybe another inch off the plate, or that'd be my aiming point, and maybe give an inch or two either way, but keep it on the outside third. Oh, boy. That fastball is still riding in there pretty good.
Well, one hit, one man left. We go to the top of the sixth.
Top
still
6.
2-0.
Yep. Well, once again, the job of the Redbirds is to hold them at 2. You need 2 to get back in it. You don't want to have to try to get 3 or 4 to get back in it. So it behooves the Birds to hold them right where they got them. You know, as I went to the restroom, you know, at the start of the last inning there, and it's still drizzling. Not that surprises you, but and you can tell anybody that's out in the stands, they've got an umbrella. You got 2 or 3 umbrellas down the side, down the left field line. You got 2 behind the dugout. I've got a plethora of umbrellas over on the other side.
Yeah.
So it's
got to hold them here. We got to give ourselves a chance. That was the inning to do it.
Did you know Coach Wisher at all at Washington?
Not really.
He was after. Who was coaching varsity when you was he just starting out there when you were there?
Maybe so.
I'm trying to think who was there before he was there, because I remember he probably came in about the middle 70s. He played at ISU.
He would have been there when I was at Metamora.
Yeah, because you were what, late 70s?
I graduated in 83.
83. Don't make you too old, right?
Washington was good back then.
Can we confirm your graduation on that? You got your diploma?
Yeah, I don't know if there's anything written on it, but
they gave you one. They gave you something that looked like they didn't want your parents to be embarrassed.
No, they had to get me out of there as soon as possible.
All right.
Quickly 2-0 the count.
Well, I'll tell you.
They had a big pitcher named Randy Buchlas. That was.
Yeah, I remember that name.
He was pretty good.
Buchlas. No, like you know, you've battled them over the years. Now they're, you know, remember when they had the Maddox brothers?
Oh boy,
they were good. Jimmy ended up playing pro ball, pitched at Missouri. I say Jimmy. That's not. Jimmy was the left hand, and Dave was the right hander that played third, and he played up at UIC. He was a good hitter, and worked hard in the Matbo program here for many years. But no, their sister, I guess it would be, is married to a guy by the name SQ, yeah, who came back to the area about 20 years ago, and he's been involved in the outlaw program, and was an assistant at Notre Dame for a number of years. And so it's definitely a baseball family.
Didn't he go to Stanford?
Yes, he did. Yeah, the boy went to Stanford. Yeah.
He was a quarterback for a while too.
Quarterback, but played baseball at Stanford. This is number 25, man alive. This is Mounts, the shortstop. Pretty nice swing.
One down here in the inning.
I don't know if Colton's ever had a bad inning this year. No, I mean that sincerely. He's always around the plate. You know, the Cubs you saw last night, they walked 3 guys in the last inning, and that gets them a loss. You know, if you throw the ball in there and make them hit the ball, you know, you can give up a couple hits in an inning even at times. And your fielders will make plays for you, but there's no defense against those walks. Nice pitch. This is the 9-hole hitter, a young sophomore by the name of Ethan Mounts.
Just still one down. 2-2.
You could kind of tell. It looked like Colton that time tried to put just a little bit more on it, and I tell you, our screen's a little darker today than it usually is, isn't it?
Yeah, and I got a little bit. It's the angle of it too. So.
Yeah. All right. All right. 2-2. 2-2. 1 out. Nobody on. Redbirds are working to hold them where we got them here. Don't be throwing those balls. We're playing straight away. Both in the infield and the outfield. He's swinging. Yeah. That was a swing. That bat came almost all the way across the plate.
Boy, it looked a little deceiving there.
Yep. Chase Mason, the hitter now, the catcher, starting catcher.
2 outs, top of the order.
Yep. Chase had their first RBI last time up, hit the ball between short and third, and it was a ball that scored their first run.
Just a little outside. 2-0 the count.
Yep. I wouldn't like to be in that situation. Chase is a pretty good hitter.
There you go.
Good pitch on the corner. He just sawed that aluminum bat off with that pitch. 2-1. Comes a breaking ball again. Nice pitch. 2-2. 2-2-2. I'd come back with that curveball again.
Oh, nice play.
Boy.
Nice job. No runs, no hits, no one left. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Redbirds still trail 2-0.
Look at the grounds crew. Here comes the grounds crew, led by Coach Delinsky. Can you pick out who the player is?
I can't.
He's got his warm-up jacket on, so we can't see a number. Let me see if I can make an educated guess on this. Well, it's not Riley Dodell. It's not Lamanendir. It's not Jack Moore. It's not Colton Kaler. I don't think it's Evan Johnson. Scott Coyne. Thank you. One of our scoreboard people helped us out. We've got some good help up here. I would say she's a junior. Sophomore, all right. Yep, thank you. You'll be on TV this week. We could have the principal. Let's do a little bit of TV work here for us. He's just checking his duties out here.
I'm guessing fantasy baseball.
Yeah, I guess. We could talk about the prom a little bit, maybe. I have to admit, I was able to get over to the Castle. The Castle is, on Grandview Drive by Peoria, Country Club of Peoria, where a lot of the couples went and had their families meet them to take pictures and that. It was kind of a nice deal to see a lot of the kids. And
does anybody live in that thing anymore?
It's owned by Dr. Soderstrom.
Oh, okay.
The
dermatologist
out of Morton. That he owns it. In fact, there was an article in the paper about it, I think, last fall. But he must graciously allow kids to come. I don't think he was there living it at the time. It didn't look like anybody was there. But Morton had their prom too that night.
Oh.
And I want to say Central had their prom that night. And I think maybe Peoria Creek. Anyway, there was about there was hundreds of people there is what I'm saying.
Wow.
And, between, I call them grandma, grandpa, mom, dad, a couple brothers, sisters, and then, of course, the couples.
Zach Beanblossom will lead off for the Redbirds.
This is just me. This is important here to get something going, and you don't want to put it all into the last inning.
Be nice to get a run here, or two.
And the other thing is, you're seeing the pitcher for the third time. I'm looking for Beanie to put the ball in play here and make something happen. Zach Beanblossom.
Ball low.
2-0. That's what
Got to
you
get
want.
on base.
Yep.
Do you take?
I do, because I just any time you start getting down to in 6th, 7th inning, I like to take till I get a strike. I don't think you need 3 strikes to hit is what I'm getting at. And if you can go 2-0 and maybe go 3-0, there's no. I mean, Zach's been around the game. His job is to get on base here. I'll tell you, he's got 2 things going with that curveball. He's got a little bit of down action with it too. It's not just a slider one way or the other. It actually breaks down. That's a good pitch, guys. Ooh, boy. All right.
Full count.
Full count.
Is that the fact that Zach's been sitting in front of the umpire the whole game?
Well, I mean, Zach's it might have been a little low. That's a base hit.
He bobbled it. He bobbled it.
Did he bobble it too? Good. All right. But credit Zach Beanblossom for hustling. But credit the sophomore shortstop, though. Once again, on a bad turf, he basically had a dive for the ball. He was on his knees. He threw from his knees. We got a pinch runner, Riley Dowdell. Riley's number 1 in your program, number 1 in your heart. 5'7", junior, out of Metamora Township High School. Nice young man. He's the type of young man you wouldn't hurt if you had a daughter and he wanted to go out with her.
Brings up Landon Ivins.
Oh, I'd love to see Landon get into one here.
Well, inside, 1-1 the count.
Come on, guys. Keep it going here now. Keep it going. Good hustle, Landon. Good hustle. Good hustle. I'm a big believer, too, is that you don't need 2 this inning either, but, boy, 1 helps you a lot. Going down 1 into a last inning allows your chances of tying probably twice as much as if you're down 2. It really does. Bryce.
It's up and out of play.
Bryce Bishop. Bryce is a sophomore. Pretty much a fixture in right field all year. Number 14 in your program. Number 1 in his mom's heart. Got fooled on the slow breaking ball.
Out in front.
Out in front, yep. Yep.
If you're 0-1 and he throws you that curveball, unless you're really, really looking for it.
Yep, look at that. Yep. Then you see the curveball again, and you think you got to swing, and
because that all set up because of the first strike.
Yeah. All right, there's 2 outs now. This is where Ben. Once again, it's the 3rd time he's seen this pitcher. His pitch count's got to be getting up there too.
Yeah.
I mean, if he's averaged 18 pitches for 6 innings, that's 108, right? 16 times 8, 108. Maybe I'll ask the scorekeepers how. Maybe they're good in math. 16 times 8 is 108. That means you'd be out of the game.
But we're only in the 6th.
Yeah, so he's getting pretty close to that. Like this inning, he's over 12 pitches this inning. Boy, is this.
No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 runner left on base.
Gunny Gunther. Too many strikeouts too.
Yeah,
too many. I'll bet you right now we have 10 strikeouts.
Oh, at least, yeah.
Yeah, and then by that I mean we're not giving them a chance to handle the ball enough. And the more times you give kids a chance to handle the ball, where they got to pick it up and they got to throw it. Well, you just saw there on Bean Blossoms. It was a ground ball, got by the pitcher up the middle. Shortstop knocks it down or gets to it, you know, and then when he's scrambling to get to his feet, he makes a throw that's not quite as hard, and it's bobbled at first, and I'd give him a hit on it even.
One hit, one left.
As we
Redbirds
go,
could not score.
Top of 7. Did you hear about that? Between games, we got that prime rib coming.
Oh, do we?
Oh, that'd be. You know, those guys like in the big leagues. You notice the Covenant. He gets the 5th inning off. Did you notice that all the time? they go have a little refreshment.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. And they get treated well in those press boxes. I guarantee you. Even on the road. But well, we got their second hole hitters up.
Ben Mount.
Ben Mount. You know, one thing as you do the game, you get the feel of who's up, and number 2 hitter Ben Mount.
Well, that's a pretty good pitch.
Yep.
To start the at
Oh,
bat.
I tell you, I'm like I said, I've never seen Colton have a bad outing this year. You know, he's always around the plate. He challenges hitters, and like I said, he's got 4 or 5 strikeouts. I know he struck out 2 last inning. This would be his 3rd inning of work. I think he's worked 5, 6, and 7. Yeah. Get there. Pitcher got to get there. Okay, nice job. Look at that.
Good job. Nice job.
Look just like the way you do it in spring training. Any ball to your left, pitcher's got to break to the line and then come up the line. You like to be coming up the line, too, because it makes it easier to stay on the inside part of that base, catch the ball first, touch the bag, and finish. You know, one thing a lot of kids want to do, they want to kind of fall back to the inside. You know,
right.
So that guy doesn't.
Away from the runner.
Yeah, otherwise that he's going to be a little mad sometime, and you get someone where he'll run right up your calf.
Well, I wonder what his percentage of thrown strikes is, because
I would say about 80%.
Yeah.
No, I mean it. He throws at least 7 out of 10 strikes. Here you got 0-2 again. You know, he's sitting 1-2, 0-2 quite a bit. That's trouble if it stays fair. No, foul ball. Like we said, if it's going down the line, right field line will probably slice away. Down the left field line, it'll probably hook fall. Number 4, Jackson Gendron. No, didn't quite make it. But good pitch, real good pitch at 0-2. You know, you don't want it to be a strike. In fact, an organized ball, if they get a base hit on an 0-2 count, you get fined. Ooh, that's going to be a little trouble. Yep. Didn't have enough juice on it for Vogie to get there, and Vogie was playing him a little over to the right too, just a little bit to right field. I thought it was a base hit all the way.
And he probably, had there not been, the shortstop had not come out there, maybe he'd have dove for it. But
yeah,
when there's 3 guys converging on it, you probably just let up.
It's down in what they call the Bermuda Triangle. That was the old days. You talked about a ball that lands right. You got 3 guys there, and it basically landed right between them.
1 out here in the 7th.
Nice pitch. Oh my! I tell you, we got a great view here at Mulberry Field, sitting in a nice, warm, heated press box. Beautiful. People outside are fighting the elements, rain, sleet. I haven't seen any hail.
No, not yet. But got all the food we want: shrimp and lobster.
Oh, it's nice. A little turkey sandwich. Nice block by
job.
Zach Meanblossom.
Well, he shifted his weight out there nicely, didn't he?
He didn't reach. He didn't reach. He knew all he had to do was get that chest down and get that ball in front of him and keep that runner from going. That's what the catcher has to do. He has to be able to keep that runner from going to first to second. Look at that pitch. Once again. You know, this is number 11, their cleanup hitter. Brody Reed, the third baseman. Brody went down, I know, looking one time. Oh, that's trouble. That's trouble. All right. Brody Reed gets a base hit to right. You know, and then Colton, like I said, one thing about Colton too, he pitches to, you know, he's not afraid to put the ball in there. And sometimes you call it pitching to contact, and give Brody Reed a good job going with that curveball that time and took it right out to right field. In the same token, they've seen him a time now too.
Yeah.
You know, we talk about this all the time. That every time you see a pitcher, your familiarity with his pitches and how much they break and what they look like as they're coming in becomes a little bit more apparent to you. Here's Ludolph. He's walked and he's got 2 base hits. That's the breaking ball. He starts it right at the letters on the inside part of the plate, and it breaks over the middle for strike 1. That makes it you know to.
He didn't slide, and I think they missed it until he went back and touched it. But then he never hit it either.
I don't see what the problem. It's a forced play.
Right.
I mean, he touched the base. The Melody definitely went and touched the base, but yeah, I guess maybe they were seeing whether or not the runner might have interfered.
On the throw to first.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. Yeah, they said no. So
well, that's the second. That was a smart play. He got the lead runner.
Got the lead runner. Yep. Starts at this Heider. Heider scares me a little bit from just the fact that he's a little bit more physical than the average 6-hole hitter. He's only a sophomore, but once again, a sophomore that's played most of the year is now closer to being a junior. Can he get there? Jimmy Driscoll, nice job getting there. Good
That's
throw.
a real nice play.
That's a big play, holding it at 2. That ball gets through. That's another run and another batter. So
1 hit,
credit
2 left, no runs.
Credit Colton Kaler coming in and shutting the door. It was 2-0 when he entered the game in the 5th, and he now gives his team the best chance that they have when keeping it at 2 to get back into this ball game. They need 2 to keep playing. And wishing Mike Wise are having a little discussion here. They've been around a long time. You know, one thing about it, some of these umpires, I mean, I would say Mike Wise has been working for 20-some years. You know what I'm saying? That they know these coaches better than some of these coaches know themselves. I remember telling Mike Wise one time. Mike is from Morton, if you didn't know that.
Yeah.
And Mike, he worked at Morton quite a bit when he was young. For legendary Mike McDonald, Hall of Famer that unfortunately passed a couple of years ago and just went into the Greater Peoria Sports Hall of Fame. That's Coyne running down there right now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just sprinting down the first. Got a clock on him. But anyway, we go there and my pitcher, the first 2 pitches, they appear to be right down the middle. And I too loudly, I said, come on, Mike. I said, if you're going to call him like that, we ought to go home right now. He looked at me, that's enough, Ole. I said, okay, that's enough. He didn't confine me, though. You remember the old Smith brothers?
Umpires?
Buck Smith and Ed Smith. They were relatives of Swede. You remember Swede?
Oh, I remember Swede.
Swede Galliard was a legend. Swede had lost a thumb in some sort of industrial accident, so he was always giving you that little shot without a thumb.
Always did the plate.
Yeah, always did the plate.
Yeah.
Even in Sunday Morning League, the amateur league over in Peoria, he would always do the plate. Chuck Tomey, Jimmy's dad, would be on the bases on Glen Oak number 1, and look at that. Boy just keeps putting the bat on the ball. I'll tell you one thing.
Down.
You got to give the Panthers credit too. They've played very good defense.
Yeah, they have.
They've supported, and that's still Gunny out there throwing. I call him Gunny. That's his.
Tell you a little story about Swede. I was coaching
boy.
Legion ball,
Oh yeah.
and he came out and did a doubleheader at our place on a Saturday afternoon.
Hot.
Hot.
Hotter than blazes.
And he used to smoke cigarettes between innings
Oh yeah.
and between games.
Yeah.
We had a guy named Ted Pretty who did the announcing for us.
I remember Ted. Yeah. Long
And
time. Metamora booster. Yeah.
And he got those little pops that you could throw on the ground and they'd pop, And he snuck into the dugout and put some in his cigarettes.
Oh my God. So he's popping them.
So Swede comes over between games and lights up a cigarette. He's sitting in the dugout smoking the cigarette. All of a sudden it
See him come
explodes.
jumping.
And the thing just explodes. He looked like a cartoon character with tobacco and
Trace
everything else.
Melody's got a battle here. He's down 1 and 2. He's going to see that curveball again.
He singled his last time up.
Yeah, he did.
And it blew up. Oh,
Yeah, he swung. He swung. Yeah. He knew it, darn it. Hey, that's two, but hey, you got a life. You got a life. We got a pinch hitter. Logan McClure. Senior Logan McClure.
So,
And he's hitting for, who follows Melody is Kyle Barber. He's hitting for Kyle. McClure for Kyle. That's a good eye, good eye. You know what? I'd still take here, too.
You got it. You got to now.
You got to take. You're down to what you got to get on base.
You can't hit a 2-run homer without a base runner.
That's right. I've got a little talk on that too. Whenever you hit a home run late in the game, if you're trying to tie it, if you don't tie the game, you very seldom come back. Because you got to start over. You're better off to get a single here than a home run. You're gonna see that curveball again, Logan. Come on, he can do it. Put the bat on the ball, hit it hard somewhere, and run hard. Oh, boy.
That's the ball game.
That's the ball game, folks. Boy, he's pitched.
Redbirds get
he pitched
shut
to
out.
Jim.
Yeah.
Turner Mann pitched well for 5 innings, and Colton Kaler pitched almost perfect for the last 3 innings. Didn't give up a run. Had 1 or 2 base runners, but really, considering the conditions, a pretty well played game. I mean, it could have been. What I'm impressed with is the low number of walks.
Right.
1 batter was hit and maybe 2 walks. I mean, that's not bad. Well, we're gonna get a little break, aren't we?
Yeah, we're gonna
come
get a
back. We got a doubleheader today. We got second game. We'll have the Pekin Dragons will be coming to town, and that's supposed to start. Did you say 6:15? I'll start on that.
Yeah, it's going to be a little later than that.
Yeah. What time is it now?
It is only 6 o'clock, so it'll be probably about 6:30.
Right. Are they? The question: are they here?
I believe so.
We'll take a look. Thanks for the help.